In front of me, I have the brand new Apple iPad Air 13 inches from 2026, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device, build quality, specifications, and what it has to offer for how much it costs. So I do want to start off by just mentioning quickly that I am not sponsored by Apple or anyone, so I'm free to basically say whatever the hell I want about these devices without needing to worry that company won't be sponsoring or anything like that. So anyway, with that out of the way, at the back you can see we have the 13-inch M4 Wi-Fi cellular and 128 gigs of storage. So with that out of the way, let's just pop it open and hey Samsung, here, take a look at this. That's how it's supposed to come off in one piece without ripping halfway through. You can learn something from people that you straight up copied, right? Anyway, let's pop it open. And in here we get our tablet. It's a pretty big one. And below that we get no charger, obviously. I mean, it's Apple, what did you expect? And we get Type-C to Type-C cable for charging. There we go. Let me zoom out a little bit, and there we go. So booting it up in a second, we'll be able to see our display with still seemingly kind of dated screen to body ratio, I would say. For a tablet at this price range, I would like to see something a little bit better than 86% screen to body ratio, which you can clearly see the bezels now. Now, just to give you a little bit of an example, this is for instance, how this looks like on a phone. Let me just turn on light mode so it's a little bit better. So this is a bezel on a phone, which already has increased bezels because of the crappy little tempered glass that I have, which has this kind of like black border on the tempered glass itself. So it actually adds a little bit more bezels. And these are still like minuscule compared to what we have right here. But anyway, we have a pretty damn big display right here without a notch. Thank you. I hate the notches that Apple still has. For instance, like on this device. Like, why the shit is there a notch on the phone? Anyway, so the display right here is 13 inches with a resolution of 2048 by 2730 32 pixels. It's a liquid retina, which is just a fancy way of Apple giving you a LCD display with a big peak brightness or typical brightness of 600 nits. It's, like I mentioned before, 86% screen to body ratio, pixel density of 264, and it's covered with a scratch resistant glass oleophobic coating, and it's Marsh level 4, so just the hardness. Anyway, other than that, if we continue on into the maybe cameras, let's first move to cameras. The back camera right here. Honestly, having said this, looks basically identical to this. So anyway, the back camera right here is a 12 megapixel 1.8 ultra wide sensor, and it will allow you to record videos up to 4K at 60 frames, surprisingly, which is honestly pretty nice. Even though maybe a little bit redundant considering it's a tablet. I don't think you're going to be, taking a family pictures with a 13-inch device. Just like you don't probably do that by walking around with a laptop. And anyway, at the front as a selfie, which may be hard to show. Oh, there we go. You can see this little dot right here. That's where the selfie is. And that is another 12 megapixel 2.0 aperture, 122 degree ultra wide. And that one will do 1080p at 60 frames. So in terms of cameras, this device actually has pretty damn good cameras, I would say. Especially for a tablet. Though at this price point, that's honestly not something that I should be surprised about. Like you better have good cameras at this price range. Anyway, So the cameras are fine. Now moving into the internals of this device, we have a whopping 9,750 mAh battery, which is big, but for a 13-inch device, I actually consider this to be a little bit on the low end. I would have expected something like 13,000 milliamps if Apple decided to use a silicon carbon battery, but they decided to obviously cut costs on a device that costs 850 fucking euros. How nice of them to sell you a premium device that does cost cutting. Fantastic. Anyway, other than that, there's no info about how fast it charges, at least not on GSM Arena, and I know Apple doesn't usually share that anyway, so I'm not going to comment on that one, but we have 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is pretty good. Funny enough, it's actually more than their new MacBook Neo, as that one has only 8. This one has more RAM, and even more hilariously, it comes with a M4 processor in here. So Apple is now doing this kind of moronic kind of bullshit where they just refuse to give you what you would probably expect at this point, which is a fucking but a tablet that comes with a normal Mac OS on it, as it fucking runs M4 processor. Then these dipshits take a mobile processor, put it into a laptop, make that into a Mac OS. They take a laptop processor, put in a tablet, and then keep the bullshit that we still have. So you have obscene amount of power in this and a shitty iPadOS on here. Wow, thanks. How about just solve this fucking problem by putting macOS on here, like everyone wants you to. Like you yourself are basically baiting people in by selling shit like this. There is a reason why there's a keyboard and a trackpad here, and it's not for me to deal with iPadOS bullshit. So, honestly, I am absolutely annoyed by this stupidity because it's just Apple doing the typical Apple bullshit, which is trying to nick and dime you for every shred of piece of shit garbage that they decide to change to try to get more nickels and dimes out of you. Oh, God. Pisses me off. So, great, we got a absolutely great processor as a positive thing that you never really get to use because we're limited by the shittiest iPadOS on here. Now, the OS isn't necessarily inherently bad, but it is running a laptop-grade processor in here. There's 12 freaking gigs of RAM, and Apple have literally just right now proven that it can run macOS on a mobile processor. This is a laptop one. There's no reason for this to not have an option to be used as a macOS running Mac applications. They're both ARM. They're both have a nice big display. This one even has more RAM than their laptop, which literally removes any kind of shred of idea that this couldn't run it. And you can buy a keyboard and a trackpad that is attached to it and use it like a laptop. But guess what that would do? That would literally take sales from MacBook Air and Mac Neo, which both have limitations. Or one has limitations, one doesn't. Neo is basically a laptop that comes with a shittier specification than this at just $100 less. While Mac Air, or MacBook Air, is basically almost the same thing as this one, but costs much more, as it costs $1,100. So Apple is just here straight up refusing to do what you'd want them to do because they can make more money off of you. And they know you losers will buy it. Anyway, so let's move on. This specific thing just annoys the living shit out of me because it's so blatantly designed to nickel and dime every single user in order to get them to buy their laptop, their tablets, and their iPhones, right, all together. Because none of them can do all three things, even though Apple themselves have literally proven by interchanging the processors in between that they surely could do that. So, other than the 12 gigabytes of RAM, you have also several different options with storage, starting from 128 gigs going up to 1 terabyte. Now keep in mind, that obviously increases drastically in price. So 850 euros, that's for the base entry with 128. Now let's quickly check what it is gonna cost us for a highest end spec one. Let's see. Just remove this. And so just a correction, tiny little correction. On official website from Apple, the iPad Air costs $799 US. So anyway, with that in mind, the 13-inch $799, and let's select this one. Let's choose a color, whatever, and we're gonna select 1 terabyte. That is going to be, holy shit, $1,300. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, sorry. That was just for the Wi-Fi version. The one that I have right here with cellular, that's gonna be $1,450 US. Jesus Christ. Wow. Insane. Now it's not as insane as a Xiaomi Leica branded phone that costs $2,300 US, but so I honestly can't believe that Apple is actually affordable at this point when other manufacturers like to sell a Chinese phone for well, nearly double that price. Wow, there is absolute wild times we're living in. Anyway, so processor in here, and processor is great. Storage, you can go for up to 1 terabyte if you're planning to pay basically double the price. And anything else that I want to talk about? Build quality wise, we're looking at obviously aluminum body. Just kind of flip it over so I can showcase this. So there we go. Typical design. A little bit of antenna action happening here and at the bottom, and little pogo pins happening right here as well for that that I showed, which I will be unboxing this in a moment. We also have what looks to be a microphone on here. If I bring it up like super close, maybe you'll be able to see it. So it is perforated, though it's barely visible. So it's a tiny little thing. But I think that's a microphone. Now at the top we have our speakers, our power button that doubles as a fingerprint sensor. Then we get basically nothing here. Oh, actually no, sorry. We get volume rockers at the, there we go, at the top, or next to the camera. Bottom, Type-C charging port, as well as 2 additional speaker grills. And then the left side, or the bottom, is completely empty, other than the antennas, obviously. So that's everything that there is to the build quality. In terms of the OS, we have the iPadOS 26.3 running on here, and yeah, that's basically now everything. So for the price of this cost, honestly, it's becoming kind of stupid. Like, Apple is just straight up doing retarded stuff right now by just releasing something like a Neo to cater to what I would presume would be students, to give them a gateway drug into Apple ecosystem. Then offering iPad, which is just a tad bit more expensive, offers better specifications, but then is a stupider version of a laptop because, well, cool, you have more power, but you're limited to the iPadOS, which is in itself kind of shitty thing, at least compared to the macOS in itself. And either one could be running this macOS. I mean, this tablet, even the phones can run macOS, as the Neo is literally running on a last year's processor that was in a phone. So this has a laptop processor and runs mobile software. That's just great. So if you consider getting this for purposes of, like, I don't know, multitasking and doing stuff, that would be more laptop adjacent, and you're thinking about buying this, honestly, I don't know if this is worth it. At this point, you're gonna add like what, another 100, probably more than $100. Let me quickly check. So iPad, we're looking at, come on, what's the price? Huh? What? You must be clowning me. This keyboard is $300 fucking dollars? What? Wow. Okay. What? What are we doing here? Wow. Absolutely wow. Nickel and diming. Now, the most comical thing about nickel and diming here is the fact that when you combine this this case, which has keyboard and trackpad in it, with a price tag of $300, and you consider that you just bought the cheapest version of this device, right? The one that comes with SIM connectivities, right? You're now looking at a price tag that is basically MacBook Air. Now, logically thinking, if you're buying this, right, this combo, why not go for something that's actually better? Because what is the like sell per? I am genuinely just absolutely stunned by this. Let me quickly check one thing. I want to. Jesus Christ, this is insane. This is literally insane. Okay, so even more retardedly right here. So if you go for the MacBook Air 13-inch one, right, it costs $1,100, which, like I said, it's about the same price. This is $800. The keyboard is $300. So you're looking at the same price as a MacBook. Just there's a tiny little difference. Well, maybe not tiny. The MacBook is a laptop running macOS. On top of that, it has an M5 processor instead of M4. So the newer version of what's in here. So this is like the leftovers from last year. Let's just put it in a tablet, right? And then charge you full price that a laptop would cost. So that's one thing. In terms of GPU, I think it's also going to be better than what we have right here, even though technically, well, if they were the same ones, right? Then I think the tablet M4 or M5s are weaker than the laptop ones, if I remember correctly. So that's another thing. And one last thing that I wanted to see is the storage, which I think it's probably going to be 256. Let's quickly check. Let's go 13 and come on, give me a storage type. Yes, we're gonna go with the crappier 8-core GPU one, whatever. Big whoop. Where the hell is the storage? Oh, there we go. So you get 16 gigabytes of RAM, by the way. Oh, sorry. For that price, you get 512 gigs of storage. Like that just seems insulting. Yep, that half a terabyte of storage for a computer that has better specifications, and all their devices basically try to imitate one another, just one doing it shittier than the other ones, like this one right here. So if you're planning to get a device that is strictly designed for like a workflow, right, and you're planning to get a keyboard for this and a trackpad, for God's sakes, just do yourself a favor and go for the MacBook Air. That is going to be much better value for money, considering it costs basically the same amount once you include that keyboard. It comes with more storage, which obviously that's pretty important. Comes with a bigger trackpad. When you consider this is a tiny little trackpad. Actually, like I said, I was gonna unbox this, so let's move this out of the way and just get straight into this. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so here it is, your tiny little trackpad right here. This is even smaller than what comes on a MacBook Neo, by the way. Hey, you get to literally convert your your tablet into a supposedly laptop with without the laptop OS on here. I get to deal with this tiny little trackpad right here, and basically you're just solving a problem that shouldn't really exist, and you're spending the same amount of money on something that would have been doing this better on its own. Now, mind it, there is one thing that will be important, obviously, for some people. So if I find the other, wherever I dropped the other thing, would be obvious. Where the hell did I put it? Oh, it's right here. There we go. We get the pencil. So if you're doing kind of creative workflow and you want a pencil, oh, that's going to be another $100, I think, or even more. So let's see. Come on, connect to it. All right, I need to set up the device for this to be connected, right? Yes, of course I do. Great. So I'm not even going to bother connecting this, but that's going to be another price to this. So in any case, if you're planning to do some kind of workflow where you draw or have, you know, a need for a pen, then obviously MacBook will not really do the job, as MacBook refuses to also add feature that you would have expected to already have, which is a touch display. Because again, once they add touch display to their MacBooks, it defeats the purpose of iPads. So literally both of these devices are kicking and screaming, refusing to add what you would expect them to already freaking have a while ago, just because one would butcher the sales of the other. The moment one of these adds the other feature, it kind of makes the other option irrelevant. If this has macOS, you don't want to buy laptops most likely. If MacBooks have touchscreen with a pen support, then that kind of defeats the purpose of a tablet. As they're both about the same freaking size that you can get them at, other than, well, the bigger ones like 15-inch MacBooks. But anyway, so you can get them at relatively, you know, similar sizes, relatively similar specs, and similar prices. It's just both of them refuse to do everything that you'd expect them to do, that Apple themselves develops and refuses to add to the one to the other, to basically not confuse these two things. So you get to suffer and have two different tablets or two different devices spend twice as much money on something that is well in its capability to do both things at the same time. I am pretty negative about this, but there is no positivity in here to be found. Now, at least not with the device. Now, positivity that I do want to kind of add, this case, this keyboard, folio, whatever you want to call it, case, is pretty high quality, but holy shit, you would expect it to be for $300 freaking. You'd actually expect it to do a little bit more. But I do want to give props for it. I really like the design where you can see it is spring loaded right here. So you can kind of, you know, tilt it back or forth, and obviously it closes. It's pretty strong hinge too, so that's pretty nice. And once it closes, it locks the device. It also, surprisingly enough, is if you can wedge your finger in there, it is it is kind of opening it up without needing to, you know, wedge your fingers in between to hold down the bottom. It opens up pretty nicely without me needing to hold anything. It snaps into place, and the only time it lifts up is when I'm trying to tilt the screen back. So anyway, that's basically the case right here and the pen. And one more thing, the pen just attaches to the side, which could be prone to be, well, kind of lost. So yeah. Now my last kind of thing to say about this would be just to kind of summarize this. It's a fine device if not for the egregious price and the accessory price. Like, this is insane. $300 for this is insulting. And at the end of the day, there will be a specific group of people that will definitely buy this with both the keyboard and the stylus, right? And this will be probably the people that do laptop related kind of work that they need a keyboard for to allow them to use it. Don't want to get a laptop and then do creative work with the pen. If you, for instance, don't need a pen and you're primarily going to be relying on keyboard and mouse, you might as well look at the MacBook Air. That is going to get you fantastic battery life, better, faster device with access to more flashed out applications. So let's be honest, the same apps that you can get on iPadOS that would be on macOS, the ones that are on macOS are much more, maybe not flashed out, but they are much more comprehensive. They're designed for a computer. So these ones will be a bit more limited. And you always primarily, I mean, it's or this one is iPadOS, so it's primarily designed for the touch inputs, right? So that's going to take away a little bit of flashed outness from keyboard and mouse kind of use case scenario. It still works pretty good with it, let's be honest. It has been built for it partially, but I can guarantee you your MacBook will work nicer with the trackpad, obviously, than an iPad. And like I mentioned, so your workflow and what you're planning to do with the device will depend, and based on what you're going to be doing, you should probably either look into the iPad or the MacBook, as they are both, like I said, depending on what you're looking for, about the same price or very close to it. So anyway, with that being said, this kind of long rant, rage, or however you want to kind of classify this, I'm basically done. And hopefully you found this somewhat entertaining. I surely did, looking at the prices. But anyway, if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is an iPad Air, and today I will show you how you can go through the setup process of this device. So, when you boot it up for the very first time, you should be presented with the same screen that you can see on my end, which is just hello, or something along those lines, or welcome, and all kinds of different languages. So what we're going to do right now is just simply swipe up, and this will allow us to select our desired language. Now for me that will be English, and next we can choose our region. Now in here I actually might recommend selecting some region that might not be where you live, but one that is part of European Union. And the idea here is, though it could be completely baseless, I have no clue, haven't actually tested it out, but hey, if there's a small sliver of chance it works, you might as well use it, that when European Union comes up with some kind of law that for the most part is consumer friendly, you might be included in that change if you selected that you're from this specific region. And assuming that the law that they are going to enforce is not very corporate friendly, chances are that a corporation would, in this case, only comply if they even will want to in that specific region, and just ignore and not change anything in anywhere else where they are not basically forced to do so. So in this kind of way, you could potentially have a more freedom of your device to do whatever you want, compared to, I don't know, for instance, Apple in US, where it's supposed to be locked down because, God forbid, you're a sentient human that can think for yourself. So that's why I'm selecting something like Poland primarily. Otherwise, it, as far as I can tell, have literally no other impact on the device. And what I said, I don't even know if this actually has an effect on your device. So keep that in mind. Now next we already have appearance for some reason. That's usually a little bit further down, I think. Oh, sorry, that's not really appearance. So in here we can select the size of our display in a way. So size of elements, like for instance the continue button and so on. You can see here it just increases the font, but in certain cases it also increases some elements. As you can see in the, for instance right here, the notifications are much bigger than, for instance, small. Same thing goes for these. You can see small and much bigger. So if you are visually impaired, you might want to increase this, and in this case you might also be interested in this option right over here, So I'm going to click on this. And here we have much more options in terms of accessibility that would help you maybe use this device a little bit better. So I have things like voiceovers, zoom, display and text size, motion, read and speak, touch, switch controls, and keyboard. So for visual impairment, probably the first like 3 will be the most important one: the voiceover, zoom, and display size, and the text size. Potentially maybe motion, although I don't know if that would be beneficial to some people. And obviously read and speak. This would read literally everything that is kind of on the display and read it out loud, so you would be able to kind of communicate with the device back and forth to get it to do what you need it to if you just don't see the display. Anyway, let's move on. Next, we have quick setup iPad. So if you have some other device nearby that is running an Apple account, it would allow you to just kind of quickly connect them together and then move over things like your Apple ID and then applications that are on there and so on. It's a nice way for you to just kind of seamlessly set up your device without needing to do much work if, for instance, you already have like an iPhone. Now, if you don't, then you're just gonna either set up with another device and you're just forced to, sorry, wait, was it with another device? Or did I just misread that? Without another device, sorry. So when you click on that, you then get to connect to Wi-Fi network. And this isn't optional. Apple doesn't give you options, it just forces you to do shit. Because God forbid you would be able to set up your device the way you want to. Because, you know, as a sentient human being, you might want to just set it up without Wi-Fi. Crazy idea, right? But you know what? Tim Cook wants you to connect to network, so you're sure shit gonna connect to it, or you're just never gonna use this device. Great setup there, Apple. Screw you, Tim Cook. So I'm gonna connect to my network, not because I want to, because this garbage ass forces me to do so. And it then tells me it may take a few minutes to activate your iPad. Well, newsflash, you stupid shit. You already activated yourself. I already resetted this, so there is nothing to activate. It already comes with iOS. Anyway, next we have software update. So we can have it update now or just automatically in a way, or you can do that later on through settings, for instance. Next, we have data and privacy. So this icon appears when an Apple feature asks to use your personal information. So I think that would be usable in cases like payment. So when you need to fill out your information like shipping info and, for instance, bank info, you could look for that icon to quickly fill those information up. Anyway, I'm going to say continue. This does seem like an okay thing. Next, we have the age range. This, just select whatever the hell you want. There is no law forcing you to select correctly, let's be honest. So if you're like 13 years old, hell, you can just select you're an adult. And this will probably give you less problems later on. As if you're a child, certain applications might just kind of not work for you. They will refuse to do so. So anyway, let's just select adult, just for simplicity of it. Next, we have Touch ID. So you can add your fingerprint if you want to unlock it using that. You also do have face unlock or Face ID, or you can just not add it at all and use something like PIN. So I'm gonna set up later, don't use, and here's our PIN. Now by default, Apple opts into the 6-digit one, but you can click right here on screen like options and choose to a 4-digit custom numerical code or alphabetical one. Now this one is the custom numerical one, though it's basically 6 digits as far as I can tell, right? So 4, yep. Oh no, wait, sorry, there's a different one. You can choose whatever the hell you want, however many digits. Okay. So in any case, I have a couple options. I will actually not be using anything, as we can skip it. This typically is not something that I would recommend doing, as honestly it's best that your device is protected. It does hold your personal information for the most part, and considering Apple iCloud account kind of has all your information usually synced between all the devices, and 99% of the people, I'm pretty sure, will have it set up. So that means that your tablet has the same kind of photos, videos, contacts, and every other thing that is on your phone will be present on the iPad. If it will ever go missing, you ever, I don't know, left it behind somewhere, forgot about it, got stolen or anything like that, it's best as this device is protected. Now, I will be skipping it just because this is just kind of for work purposes here, so we're recording it here, so this is not something that needs to be protected, but for personal usage, I would recommend doing so. Next, we have transfer your apps and the data, and we have several different methods you can restore it. That's basically what it refers to. So you can restore it from an iCloud backup, from another iPad, from Mac or PC, and from Android. So to kind of elaborate a little bit more, so for instance, from Android, you would need to download some kind of application to allow you to do so. For Mac and PC, it would be typically a data that you had to create a backup of onto your PC or Mac, and then you can plug it in and restore it through that method. Or another iPad would, technically we already had that show up before, so it's kind of showing up again. Anyway, I'm going to say don't transfer anything. And here's our Apple ID right here, so we can sign into it. You most likely want to do so. That's really the only way you're going to be downloading primarily any kind of apps on here, so go for it. I will be skipping this just because, but also if you don't have a Apple account, which, hey, maybe you're a new Apple user, you can actually click right here for forget password or don't have an account, and you can set one up. So you can create a new account, can restore your password, or you can just skip signing in altogether by selecting Setup Later in Settings, which is what I'll be doing. Now, obviously, if you're, again, using this yourself for your personal kind of use case scenario, you do want to sign in, as you will most likely need your Apple account to basically use this device to its fullest extent. Otherwise, you're just kind of stuck with whatever application come installed out of the box with the device, which isn't many. Anyway, I'm going to select Don't Use. And here we have terms and conditions. Now you can read them by clicking iOS terms and conditions right here. And you can see we have a little bit to read. Now, let's be honest, majority of us never read a single word of this, so we just click on agree, and that's about it. Next, we have update your iPad automatically. So this page just kind of allows you to, by clicking continue, for the device to automatically download updates and then install them. And it tries to install them usually just like when you would be, for instance, sleeping. Now, alternatively, you can select download only. God forbid you would just not download this shit whenever it comes out, right? No. You have to have trash on your iPad, cluttering your storage, which would be about 10 gigabytes of storage. That's usually how much iOS weighs. So, hey, you're kind of forced to have it on your device, even if you don't want to install it, just because Apple really wants you to do so, because God forbid you would have any kind of agency over what you want to do on your device that you paid full price for. Anyway, next we have use location services. So we have location services allow maps and other apps and services like Find My, basically location of your device, to gather and use data indicating your location. Obviously, for maps, this just kind of places your device on the map and allows you to, for instance, use it as a GPS navigation, stuff like that. Certain applications will just straight up require location to be enabled to function. Otherwise, they just go like, go screw yourself if you're not going to give us your location. Yeah. So, and here you probably want to select turn on location services, but no, you can just set it up later. Sometimes when you open up applications, you will be able to turn them on when they prompt you to do so, or you can just do so by swiping from the control center. Next, we have set up eSIM. So if you want to, you can obviously add an eSIM to this device. It does have, at least this one right here, does have eSIM support. I don't have any kind of eSIM, nor would I actually want to add one, but if you're planning to, you will need to connect to it right here by scanning QR code. One more thing to note, for this, you do need to have Wi-Fi connection. So maybe you're trying to do that later on through the settings, which you totally can. You will need to have Wi-Fi to be able to add this. Next, we have screen time. So this just gives you a weekly report of your screen usage based on different applications and so on. Honestly, I like to select continue. It's useful information. Next, we have iPad analytics. This, on the other hand side, I will not be agreeing to, as what it is basically, you can just read the first sentence, help Apple improve its products and services by sharing diagnostic and usage data from this iPad. Excuse me, what do I get in return? Because it's in Apple's interest to improve their iOS, iPadOS, or any other ones, right? It's their job to do so for you to be enticed to get the next one. It's in their best interest to give you the best service at all times if they want you to come back with it to their device later on. Sharing your data is not something that you should need to do for this to be happening, especially when this data is being used for monetization purposes by being sold off and monetized. This is not primarily for helping them improve products. It is to help them make more money, not really improve services. So keep that in mind. And my stance here is that if you're not seeing any kind of revenue from sharing this data, as helping them improve their system is in their job title, not yours. So because they're not giving you any kind of revenue for this data that you're sharing, that they're using in some way, that is helping them make more money, then you shouldn't be sharing it. It's just as simple as that. Next, we have light and dark mode, and also the in-between, so it will automatically switch. I'm going to keep it on light, but at the end of the day, it's just personal preference. You can click on them and it will automatically change. Next, we have Apple Intelligence, or more like Gemini Intelligence, I think. I think it's using Gemini, right? Or ChatGPT. I don't even know. It doesn't really matter, but Apple doesn't have its own intelligence. Let's be completely upfront about this. So it's kind of scammy to even call it such. They're trying to make their intelligence. They absolutely failed, and now they're partnering with, I think it's Google for this. So by partnering with Google and using Gemini for this, it's not really Apple Intelligence now, is it? Now, that being said, it in this case will probably gather more data than it should. Apple is typically a more kind of private system where it tries to not share your data. But if you're using Apple and Gemini in some capacity, it does need to connect to, well, Gemini. And in this case, well, your data is basically sold off. To be honest, Google is the exact opposite of Apple when it comes down to your data. They're in the business of selling that data as much as they possibly can. So it's up to you if you want to use this crap or not. I'm going to select skip. I couldn't give two shits less about AI, to be honest. Which, keep in mind, unlike typical tech reviewers or other things, I use this on a daily basis, devices like this. And the only thing that I ever use is Google freaking Lens for the most part, or Circle to search on my device. So these are just interesting features, cool things to talk about. I wouldn't say they're that great to use it on a daily basis. You probably already have a absolute disdain to it from all the AI slop that you have everywhere. Anyway, next we have multitasking and windows. So we can have it either do the full screen apps, or we can have basically like a window once. I generally like the more Android-esque, or not Android, but like more of a iPad or iPhone kind of look. So it's similar between them, rather than the windowed one, like it's pretending to be macOS. Even though it could straight up run macOS, Apple is refusing to do that just because it would cut away from their revenue. So, you know, I'm going to keep it at this shittier kind of thing, just because if I wanted to have a window, I would go with a freaking MacBook Neo or Air. So, yeah. I'm going to select continue. Oh, and this basically finishes up the setup. So, click on get started, and there we go. So, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 and let me show you how to activate lock sounds. So at first, let's open the settings, then go to sounds, and here you'll notice lock sound. Just mark the indicator, and that's it. From now on it is active. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to change for ringtone. So at first, open the settings, then find and select sounds, and here you'll notice ringtone. Just mark it here, pick the tune that you want to apply, and just go back, and it is already set. So that's it, that will be all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to check IMEI number assigned to this tablet. So at first just enroll the settings, then find and select General, here go to About, and now scroll down. Now you can smoothly read your IMEI number assigned to this iPad. So this is it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
Hi, it's HardReset and today I'll show you how to enable reduce motion on iPad Air 2026. First go into the settings, then scroll down into the accessibility, that is right here, then motion and reduce motion enable. That's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one.
Morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to activate keyboard clicks. So at first, enroll the settings. Then from main settings list select sounds. And here you'll notice keyboard clicks. So unless it is active, just mark this switcher. And that's it, that will be all. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 and let me show you how to check iPadOS version. So to get the version that you've got on your device, you just need to open the settings, then go to General, now mark About, and here you'll notice iPadOS version, almost at the top of the list. So that's it. Here we've got the whole info. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to change video resolution. So first of all, open your camera app. Now go to video panel and here you will notice resolution icon. So smoothly by tapping you can switch between modes, so you can apply 4K, you can apply HD, then you can change the FPS if you wish to, and then just start recording. So that's it, that will be all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 and let me show you how to activate battery percentage and status bar on this device. So first of all, enroll the settings, then find and select the battery, and here you've got battery percentage. Just mark, and that's it. As you can see, it is displayed right next to the battery icon, so you are aware of the current battery level at this very time. So that's it, that will be all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to change new mail sound. So at first, let's open the settings, then find and select sounds. Here click on new mail, and all you have to do is to pick the one that you want to apply. So let me leave a slide, go back, and as you can see, it is already set. So thank you for watching, please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to set up multiple email accounts on iPad Air 2026. So first go into the settings, then scroll down to apps, find mail, mail accounts, and right here click add account and enter your mail account. That's it, thanks for watching, don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one.
Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to remove Fingerprint. So at first open the settings, then find and select Touch ID and passcode. Enter your passcode to enter this panel. And now choose Fingerprint that you want to remove. Now just mark delete. And that's it. As you can see, it's no longer connected with your device. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Good morning guys, in front of me is Apple iPad 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to apply dark theme. So at first enroll the settings. Then find and select display and brightness, and here at the top of the list you will notice dark theme. Smoothly mark it, and that's it. From now on it is active. So that will be all. That's how you can smoothly switch between the modes. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad 13 and let me show you how to change screen timeout on this device. So first of all, enroll the settings. Then find and select display and brightness. Scroll down and here you'll notice auto lock. Just mark it here. And now select the period of time after which you want your display to fall asleep. You can go with 2, 5, 10, 15 minutes or even never, however you like. Just mark it, go back, and that's it. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Hello everyone, in front of me is iPad Air from 2026 and let me show you how to activate emoji stickers. So at first enroll the settings, then find and select General and go to Keyboard. Now scroll all the way down and here you will notice emoji. So if you wish to activate emoji stickers, just mark this indicator and that's it. From now on you will be able to send stickers from the emoji keyboard. So that will be all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Hello everyone, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to check total screen time. So at first open the settings, then find and select screen time. And here you've got all the details, so just go to see all activity, and if you do use this device a bit more than I do, as you can see it's brand new one, you'll be able to see the whole statistics here. So the time spent on particular apps, total screen time and so on. So that will be all. Thank you for watching, please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
It's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to set up Wi-Fi 7 on iPad Air 2026. So first go into the Wi-Fi settings by clicking and holding the Wi-Fi settings, and you need to verify with your router that it supports Wi-Fi 7. And then just connect it to it like a normal Wi-Fi. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one.
Hello everyone, in front of me is iPad 13 from 2026 and let me show you how to locate serial number assigned to this device. So at first, enroll the settings, then find and select about device. It's under general, so at first go to general and now select about. And here you'll be able to notice the serial number assigned to this iPad Air. So this is it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to reduce eye strain on iPad Air 2026. So first, in Settings, go into the Display and Brightness, enable True Tone and Night Shift, manually enable until tomorrow, then go into the Accessibility, then Motion, and enable Reduce Motion. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, don't forget to leave a like, and see you in the next one. Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to scan QR codes without any app on iPad Air 2026. So open Camera app, and then I have my QR code right here. Just point the camera on it, and here we have scanned page. Click on it, and I have some PDF about docs. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, and see you in the next one.
In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can check device specifications in Settings. All you need to do is go into Settings and tap on General on the left. Then choose About at the top and wait. As you can see, all specifications are over here. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026, and let me show you how to hide IP address from trackers. So at first, enroll the settings, then go to Apps, find and select Safari if this is the browser that you're using. So here we've got it, and here you'll notice hide IP address, enroll, and if you wish to hide IP address from trackers, just mark it here, and that's it. It's super useful feature. I truly recommend to activate it here. So that's it, that would be all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up. Hello everyone, in front of me is Apple iPad 13 from 2026, and let me show you how to activate and use camera timer. So at first, let's open your camera app. Once you're in photo mode, you will notice the clock icon. Just enroll and now apply free 5 or 10 seconds delay, whatever you prefer. Click on camera shutter, and now the photo will be grabbed. You'll see the countdown in the left upper corner. And then the photo is taken. To switch the timer off, mark here again and mark off. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to customize the control center on iPad Air 2026. So go into the Settings, Control Center, and as you can see right here, Customize Control Center. Swipe down from the top right edge to open Control Center, add, rearrange, and resize any control. So scroll from the right top, then here click this plus, and now you can resize or just hold and drop where you want. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one. Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to set up lock screen and home screen widgets on iPad Air 2026. First, open your iPad, click and hold, then click and hold once again and unlock it. Here we have Customize. Okay, here you can add widgets. So click and, for example, clock and a battery status. Then click Done. And here you have new page. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one.
Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 from 2026, and let me show you how to clear browsing data, clean Safari data. So first of all, enroll the settings, then go to apps and locate Safari here. Now scroll down, and here you will notice clear history and website data. Just mark it here, and then pick the time frame so you can remove history from past hour, day, 2 days, or all history, and this is what I would like to do. And you can also close all tabs if there's any tab open. Click on clear history, and that's it. That will be all. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to use Image Playground on iPad Air 2026. Open Playground, and here describe an image or add suggestions from the list. So you can describe an image here, a cat riding a car with sunglasses in the city. Okay. And now we're waiting for the photo. And here we have the image. We have a couple of them. And here you can save them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one.
In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can turn on or turn off autocorrection. First of all, go into Settings and scroll to click on General. Following that, scroll again, this time to click on Keyboard below Font section. Over here. Now just tap on this switcher next to autocorrection to either switch it off or turn it on. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can turn on or turn off Passwords Autofill. Start by opening Settings and tapping on the General section. Then you need to click on Autofill and Passwords over here. And use this switcher at the top next to Autofill Passwords and Passkeys to switch it off or turn it on. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can change font size. First of all, go into Settings and scroll to click on Display and Brightness over here. Now click on Text Size and operate this slider to adjust it. Once you finish, go back. So when I do that, as you can see, size of my font has changed. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to activate the Silent Assistant on iPad Air 2026. First, go into the settings, then find Upper Intelligence and Siri, talk and type to Siri, and then type to Siri enable. And then, when you double click right here, you can type instead of saying what you want. So, Google cats. And send. And as you can see, it is working. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one.
Alright guys, in front of me is iPad 13, and let me show you how to change the date and time on this device. So first of all, unroll the settings, then find and select General, and go to Date and Time. Here we've got it. Now switch off automatic setup, and you can smoothly at first change the time zone, and then date at first, and also time. So as you can see, from now on it's up to you what date and hour it currently is, also in which time zone you are staying. So that's it. Whenever you want to go back to the full setup, just mark set automatically again. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you where you can locate your downloads. All you need to do is find an app called Files that's already on your iPad and click on it. Then select Downloads right under Favorites. All your downloaded files will be here. To open one, just click on it. To manage one, operate those options available usually at the top right or left corner. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to create custom Genmoji on iPad Air 2026. So first, open, for example, Safari or somewhere when you can open the keyboard. Go into Emojis, and here we have Genmoji. Open it and describe a Genmoji or add suggestions from the list. So, for example, smiling dog. Okay. And now it's making a emoji. And here we have it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one.
In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can turn on or off auto brightness. First of all, go into Settings. Now tap on Accessibility section over here, and when you're ready, choose Display and Text Size. Following that, scroll all the way down and tap on this switcher at the bottom, right next to Auto Brightness. This way you can turn it on or switch it off. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can turn on or off location. First of all, go into Settings and scroll to tap on this section called Privacy and Security. Then choose Location Services. And when you're ready, use this switcher next to Location Services to either switch them off, in this case hit Turn Off in the pop-up and wait, or turn them on. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you where you can locate all text correction options. First of all, go into Settings and tap on General over here. Now scroll down to tap on Keyboard section below Fonts, and then manage all of those options under all keyboards however you want to by tapping on the switchers next to the chosen features. This way you can switch them off or turn them on. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can switch on or off auto rotation. Start by going into Tab menu. To do that, swipe down from the top right corner of your screen. Then tap on this icon with a padlock. As you can see, mine turned white and the padlock closed. That means that auto rotation is off because your screen is currently locked in this orientation. To enable auto rotate, click on the same shortcut until it's gray and padlock opens. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to use AssistiveTouch on iPad Air 2026. Go into the settings, then into the accessibility, touch, AssistiveTouch, and enable. Right here we have customize top level menu, and here you can change the menu, for example, from device to camera. And now here we have the button to open AssistiveTouch. Open it, and we have camera. Just click on it to open it. And go back into the settings. Here we also have gestures, custom gestures that you can make. And after that, you can save it as, for example, test. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, and see you in the next one.
Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad 13 from 2026, and let me show you how to reset network settings. So first of all, enroll the settings, then find and select General, and go to Reset Options. It's actually Transfer or Reset iPad. Now select Reset, and here you will notice a Reset Network Settings. So if you want to do it, just mark, and then confirm that you really want to delete all network settings, returning them to factory defaults. And once it's rebooted, just unlock your device and use it smoothly. You can customize your network settings from scratch. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can select and delete multiple photos at once. First of all, just open Photos app and click on Collections. Then tap on one of your folders from which you want to delete your photos, and tap on Select at the top right corner. Then choose Select All, also at the top right corner. Now to keep any of those photos, click at the bottom right corner of each one, or slide your finger across. Wherever you decided, when you're ready to get rid of the rest, use the Delete button at the bottom and confirm your choice in the pop-up. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Hello everyone, today we've got here Apple iPad 13 and let me show you how to change wallpaper on this device. So at first, let's open the settings, then find and select wallpaper and mark Add New Wallpaper. So now just choose either from your own photos, from Emoji wallpaper, color wallpaper, astronomy wallpaper, weather wallpaper, just whatever you want to have. Let me go, for example, with this Unity wallpaper. Here you can change the color also, but I like this one. Then mark Add and decide if you want to set it as a wallpaper pair or you want to customize your home screen separately. So now we can, okay, so you cannot actually zoom it in out, that's a new thing here. You can change it to color, to gradient, you can blur it if you want, or add brand new photo. So let me do it this way, then mark Done, and that's it. As you can see, it is already set. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
Hi, it's HardReset, and today I'll show you how to edit, sign and annotate PDF file on iPad Air 2026. So first, open Files, and I'll just search for an PDF file right here. Now, here we have an markup right here. Just click it, and now, as you can see, we can type in some spaces. When we go all the way down, here is the space for a sign up. And when you're done, just unclick it. And when we go back, and scroll down, as you can see, it automatically saved. Thanks for watching, don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next one.
In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can delete the password from Passwords Manager. All you need to do is open Passwords app that's already on your iPad and enter your current passcode. Now choose All at the top left corner and find your password by scrolling down, using those arrows at the bottom to, for example, tap on Date Edited and see recently edited passwords, or tap on the search bar at the top right corner and type in whatever you wish. Either way, after finding your password, click on it, then hit Edit at the top, and to get rid of it, use the Delete button. Then confirm your choice in the pop-up. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPadOS 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can open apps in split screen view. First of all, just open any app you want to use in this view, and then access the deck. To do that, swipe up from the bottom of your screen. Now select the second app from here, hold it, and drag it up. Then when you see blurry area on the right or on the left, let go. As you can see now, I can use both of my apps at once. If you wish to go back from this view, you can hold this line in the middle and drag it all the way to the right or to the left. Then let go and close the remaining app. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPadOS 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can open any app as a window. First of all, select an app you wanna use in window form and launch it. Then swipe down from the top of your screen like that and click on those three dots on the left. Then click on green icon on the right and wait. Now enjoy using your app in a window form. Once you're done, you can tap on the same three dots and decide what you wish to do next. You can leave your app opened in the background by clicking on this yellow line. You can close it completely by tapping on the red X, or you can open it in full screen view again by tapping on the green button on the right. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPadOS 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can turn on or off app notifications. First of all, go into Settings and scroll to click on this section called Notifications right under Wallpaper 1. Now you need to scroll again and this time select an app from which you want to manage notifications, like for example Photos. Now use this switcher next to Allow Notifications. When it's green, that means that notifications are on. You can see all of those other notification settings for a chosen app and adjust them however you wish. If you want to disable notifications, use the same now green switcher and wait until it's gray. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPadOS 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can set up app lock. First of all, decide which apps you wanna lock and hold one of them, like Photos. When you do, you will see this pop-up. Select Require Passcode. Click on Required Passcode here, and then enter your iPad passcode. Now, every time you will try to access your app, passcode will be required. You can do that with any other one the same way. If you wish to disable passcode from one of your locked apps, hold it again and select Don't require passcode in the same pop-up. Then enter it to confirm your choice. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Good morning guys, in front of me is iPad Air 13 and let me show you how to activate the Astronomy Wallpaper on this device. So at first you need to enroll the settings, then find and select Wallpaper, and now select Add New Wallpaper. So you can either pick Astronomy here or straight from this panel, pick the one that you want to apply. So let me choose for example and this one. Now go to settings to activate location services. So from now on this wallpaper can be adjusted to the hour and place where you are currently staying, and you can pick Mars, Saturn, Neptune, whatever you prefer. I'll go with the whole solar system, mark Add, and then select wallpaper pair or home, or you can customize home screen separately if you want to, but as I want to have it on both, I'll mark done, and that's it. As you can see, from now on it is set. And also I'll show you the lock screen. So here it is. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.
In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can edit password in Passwords Manager. All you need to do is open Passwords app that's already on your iPad and enter your screen lock. Then click on O at the top left corner and look for your password by swiping here, using this search bar at the top right corner, or choosing this icon of 2 arrows. Then you can pick any of those options to, for example, find those you edited recently. After finding your password, click on it and hit Edit at the top. Then make any changes you want, and once you finish, click on checkmark at the top right corner. So when I do that, as you can see, my changes were successfully made. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPad Air 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can check a password in Passwords Manager. First of all, you need to open Passwords app that's already on your iPad and enter your current passcode. Now select O at the top left corner and look for your password. In order to do that, you can scroll here, search for it by clicking on search bar at the top right corner, or you can also use this icon of 2 arrows and pick one of those options, like for example, select Date Edited to see ones you edited recently. Whatever you decided after finding your password, click on it, and then to check it out, click on it here. As you can see, after a few seconds, my password became visible for me to see. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can set up screen lock. First, go into Settings and scroll to click on this section here called Touch ID and Passcode. Now you need to select Turn Passcode on. And before doing anything, choose Passcode options to pick the best one for you. 4-digit numeric code, 6-digit numeric code, custom numeric code, or custom alphanumeric code. Whatever you decided, when you're ready, create it here. If you see this pop-up, tap on Change Passcode because yours is too easy. I will go with Use Anyway though, because this is only an example. Now repeat your passcode to confirm it and wait. So now, when I go back, switch off my screen, turn it back on, and swipe up. Icons that passcode is required. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can connect it to printer. First of all, you need to open any file you wish to print. Then look for this icon with an arrow, usually located at the top left corner. Now scroll down in the pop-up and hit Print. Finally, to connect to your printer, just tap on Printer section and wait for your device to find yours. If you have more than one, click on a chosen one. Then you can adjust all of those options however you wish. Presets over here. Number of copies. You can use this switcher here next to Print in Color to switch it on or turn it off. Then select paper size. I have only one available. And click on Media and Quality. Now you can adjust Fit From, Media Type, and even Print Quality. Once you finish to print your file, click on Printer icon at the top right corner. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can resize icons. First of all, you need to hold your screen until your icons will start shaking. When they do, tap on Edit at the top left corner and select Customize option. Then click on this icon at the top right corner of Customize pop-up and wait. Then click on your screen, and as you can see, all of my icons became bigger. Unfortunately, after you do this, you won't see any labels. If you want to go back to standard size, hold your screen again and go back to the same section. Customize here. Then click on the same icon to restore the default ones. Quick tip, if you want to do something else with your icons, try all of those options here. Default, Dark, Tinted, and my favorite, Clear. You can always go back to the default ones by clicking on this icon on the left. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to easily use night shift plus dark mode scheduling on iPad Air 2026. So first, what you guys want to do is go over into the settings. Now let's go over to the display and brightness, and here what we're going to do is we're going to go over and we got the night shift right here. We can go over and click scheduled, and now it is scheduled. So we can also manually enable until tomorrow, but we're going to make it schedule from, let's say, 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. And after that, what else can we do is, of course, let me talk about the cold temperature. We want to make sure that they are more warm, so they will look like this. So there's not that much of the blue light. So the blue light, of course, affects our sleep. We want to get rid of it. So, of course, we will still see it, but it will be definitely way warmer. So let's put it like this. Now, what else can you guys do? As we got the appearance here. So this is the dark mode. We're going to click automatic. And as you guys can see, we can select custom schedule. And we can also select the light from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it'll turn dark as soon as the night shift will turn on. So that's how it works. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, then leave a like, subscription, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
In front of me is iPadOS 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can turn on and use voice typing. First of all, launch your keyboard and check for a microphone icon at the bottom left corner. If you don't have one, don't worry. Just go into Settings and tap on General. Once you're done, scroll to Access Keyboard section and then scroll again, this time to tap on gray switcher next to Enable Dictation. Confirm your choice in the pop-up, and if you wish, disable or enable auto punctuation over here. You can always do it later on. Finally, go back to your keyboard and tap on No Visible Microphone. Then start typing. When you're done, you can tap on keyboard button at the bottom, or sometimes when this vocal trap you just see won't show, just tap on microphone, type, and when you're done, click on the same one. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPadOS 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can add a password to Passwords Manager. First of all, you need to open Passwords app that's already on your iPad and enter your current passcode. Then select Continue, tap on Allow, and to add a passcode, use this plus at the bottom. Then input all of those informations. At the top, type in any website or any app. Then username, email or phone number. Password. And even take some helpful notes. Once you're done, use this check mark at the top right corner. As you can see, after a few seconds, my password was successfully added. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can connect it using Bluetooth. First of all, go into Settings and tap on Bluetooth over here. Now tap on this switcher next to Bluetooth if it's not already on, and wait for available devices to show. When they do, tap on the one you wanna connect to. Then select Pair and wait for the other device to accept your connection request. Or if you are trying to connect to another tablet or to a smartphone, tap on it manually on the second device. Just make sure to be quicker than I. Let's redo it. As you can see, after a few seconds, my devices were successfully connected. If you wish to manage this connection, tap on this icon next to any connected device. And check out all of those options. If you wish to only disconnect for it now, tap on Disconnect. If you want to forget it altogether, hit Forget this device and confirm your choice in the pop-up. You can always pair with it again, the same way as before. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to enable and use guided access to lock iPad Air 2026 to a single app. So first, what you guys want to do is go over into the settings. Now in those settings, we're gonna scroll to accessibility and scroll down until we see the guided access in the general section, right almost at the bottom. We're gonna enable it, and what we're gonna do here is we can change the passcode settings, of course the time limits, and enable accessibility shortcut. Of course, we got the auto lock from the display, so it will automatically lock during the guided access session. So what we're gonna do here is we wanna triple click the top button and the app that we wanna use it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over and let's say we wanna use the Messages app, and what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna triple click the button. So let's tap 3 times, and as you guys can see, we got the guided access. And we can circle areas that we want to disable. So let's say we want to disable this. Now we're going to disable this as well. And like this. Now, of course, let's see if we can adjust this and this. Now let's click Start. And we need to enter the passcode. Now we need to verify it. And as you guys can see, this is how the guide access looks like. We cannot edit or simply do anything here because we cannot use it. So if we want to leave, we just triple click again and enter the password. So that's it for the video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, then leave a like, subscription, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can set up an alarm clock. First of all, open Clock app, and then make sure to tap on Alarms at the top. Now to create a new one, use this plus at the top right corner. Once you do, you will see this pop-up. In it, you can make all of your changes to adjust your alarm perfectly. Firstly, set up an hour. Then tap on Repeat and pick days of the week by tapping on the chosen ones. Go back and select Label if you want to name your alarm. Click on Sound. Tap on Tone Store if you want to use music from it. Tap on Pick a Song if you want to use one from your library. Or select one of those by clicking on the one you want to apply. Go back. Use this switcher next to Snooze to switch it off or turn it on. And if you decided you do want to enable it, tap on Snooze Duration. Then decide how many minutes it will take. Lastly, to save your new alarm, just tap on the checkmark at the top right corner. As you can see, mine was successfully created. To turn it on or switch it off, operate this switcher. To edit it, you need to click on it, make any changes, and use the same checkmark. To get rid of it though, choose Edit at the top left corner and click on Remove button on the left of your alarm. Then wait. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to enable and use focus filters for apps on iPad Air 2026. So what you guys want to do is go over into the settings. Now in those settings, you need to scroll down to focus, and here in the focus, what you guys want to do is select the focus that you want to change. So I'll change the sleep focus for an example. And first, what you guys want to do is scroll down to focus filters. Here you can customize how your apps and device behave when this focus on. So here we got the system filters. We can set the dark mode to dark for an example, or the light. As you guys can see, it doesn't really matter. Here we can enable the silent mode. So whenever we are sleeping, we want to make sure that silent mode is enabled. Of course, we want to turn the low power mode, because what if we fall asleep without charging our iPhone? Maybe it won't be discharged to 0% when we wake up. We can also filter the calendars for another day at work, and we can also filter the inboxes, but I do not have an account here, so I will skip this one. We can filter the messages by people list, so we want to enable it, and here now it will be filtered. And music, we can use the listening history, so it will influence recommendations. So if you listen to something while sleeping, like some rain sounds, then you can use this listening history and it will basically try and play the rain sounds all over again. And of course, we got another option by filtering we can choose the SIM and it will filter calls by it, but I do not have a SIM here. And of course, we got the Safari, but nobody is really using Safari. But here, as you guys can see, you can select the filter type for a profile or tab group. So I do not have any profiles, and here I got a lot of tab groups, so I'll choose the test one. And we can allow opening external links in your focus tab group, or I'll disable it to make sure that we do not open anything. So that's how you guys can use the focus filters. As you guys can see, it's perfectly set up for sleep, and that's basically it. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't leave a like, subscription, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can operate apps permissions. First of all, go into Settings and scroll all the way down to click on Privacy and Security. Now tap on Location Services and make sure to enable them if they are not already on thanks to this switcher. Then pick one of your apps or one of those features to manage. Let's go with Maps. And click on one of those options to apply the best one for you. In case of Maps, allow location access, never, ask next time or when I share, while using the app or while using the app or widgets. Wherever you decided, tap on the chosen one and go back. As you can see now, Maps no longer have access to my device's location. When you finish with location services, go back and tap on Tracking. Then use this switcher next to allow apps to request to track, to disable, or enable it. If you decided to switch it on, all apps that will request to track will be visible here. You can deny it or allow it by operating the same switcher right next to the chosen ones. Go back again, and here you can either pick one of those apps or scroll down more to pick one of those features and manage chosen permission. For example, let's go with motion and fitness. Now you can use this switcher next to health to deny or allow access to fitness tracking. When you finished, go back again. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Welcome. In front of me is a iPad Air, and today I will show you how you can enable power saving mode on this device. So, to get started, you will want to swipe down from the top or right side of your screen to bring down your control center. And somewhere in here, you should, I think, by default see the power saving mode or low power mode, I think as it's called right here. And it will look like this, like a battery. Now, if you don't see it, you can actually add it by holding empty space like right here. It will enter this editing mode. And from here, you can click on Add a Control and find your low power mode somewhere in this list. Now, for me, it's right here, so it's quickly foundable. Anyway, I'm going to remove it as it's already added. Now, once you're done, you can just click on this space again, and this will exit the editing mode. From here, simply click on this toggle. It will tell you low power mode on, and it changes the color of the battery to indicate that it is right now enabled. So that's generally what will happen. And to give you a little bit of heads up, sometimes, I don't know if this is the case for Apple, as this isn't really a system that I use myself. But for instance, on Android, when you enable things like low power mode or power saving mode, it tends to mess around with how applications check for notifications. So typically what it will happen is it will just kind of freeze those applications in the background and only allow them to check every period of time, or it won't let them check at all. And that allows the device to just kind of disconnect from Wi-Fi or mobile data, or both, depending on what the device can do to preserve battery life. And obviously, the downside of this is any application that requires internet connection and any kind of functionality to give you notifications, basically, for the time being, when the device is suspending that, the application can't really notify you that someone, for instance, sent you a message. It will only do it when the device allows it to. So this is something that for the most part, happens with power saving modes, low power modes like this. But like I said, I don't know if this is the case here. So if you notice that you're receiving notifications late, that's probably why. Now anyway, once you're done with it, as you can see, or as I did before, you can just click on this toggle again, and this will turn it off. So in any case, with that being said, I hope you found this very helpful. And if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
In front of me is iPad 13 2026, and today I would like to show you how you can use Voice Memos. All you need to do is open Voice Memos app and tap on the red button at the bottom left corner to start recording. As you can see, recording is on. To pause it or unpause it, use this button at the bottom left corner. When you pause it, you can operate those options at the top right corner. For example, playback speed, skip silences, enhance recording, and more. Like when you click on this chat icon, you can see your text. It's not always accurate though, so make sure you are close enough to your screen. Click on this one last. If you wish to edit your recording right away, pick a section you want to manage and tap on Trim or Delete. Then hit Apply on the right. If you wish to, you can also move your track and then replace any part by tapping on red button, like that. When you're done, you can simply swipe it to the end and continue recording normally. If you want to rename it right away, click on New Recording at the top and type in whatever you wish to. Last but not least, hit Done at the bottom right corner. As you can see, my recording was successfully created. To play it, click on it on the left, to select it from the list, and operate those buttons at the bottom. You can also use the same options you used before at the top right corner. Then, if you wish, you can select your recording on the left again, and this time use all of those to make it your favorite one. To use those options here, for example, to share it, to input it into a folder, or to get rid of it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!
Hi, welcome to the Hard Reset channel. In this episode, I will show you a complete overview of the buttons, ports, and sensors of the iPad 13R with the M4 from 2026. Let's start with the back of our device, so what we see here right away at first glance. At the top, right here, what looks like a frame is actually the antenna of our iPad. Thanks to this, our iPad will have a better connection. Right here we have a high-resolution 12-megapixel camera, and positioned just below it, we can see the dedicated auxiliary microphone of our device, which will be specifically used for effectively reducing any unwanted ambient noise during your recordings. Here we can see the Apple button, which is the standard button that, for example, we can assign functions to. Screenshot. Looking closely at the very bottom of the device, we can also see a structural metal frame, which actually serves as the integrated antenna of our tablet, as well as these 3 gold-plated pins that specifically allow us to connect an external keyboard to our tablet for better productivity. These are the 3 pins that you can see right here in this spot. Of course, the tablet connects to them magnetically, and here you can also see that Apple has naturally provided a spot for the microphone in our keyboard. So, nothing will be blocked when you attach such a keyboard. Now, let's move to the right edge of our device, right here. At the very top, you can of course see the antenna in this spot. It runs here from the back, as you can see. We have the volume up button and the volume down button for our device. Next, in the middle, we can see a magnetic charging station for our Apple Pencil. Of course, it has to be the Apple Pencil Pro, because the regular one charges via USB Type-C. Moving further down the frame, we can clearly see another internal antenna for our device located right here at the very bottom. Let's move to the other side. This will be quick, because up here there is only the antenna. And at the bottom there is only the antenna as well. Now we can move to the top of our device. Here it's a bit more interesting because in this spot we find the power button, which features Touch ID, that is a fingerprint scanner. We can set up fingerprint scanning for this device, and it will be located here on the power button. Next, we can see the speaker of our tablet, right next to it. The primary antenna component is located here as well, positioned a bit further along the edge. We also have a secondary antenna module, and an additional high-quality speaker for our device. Now we can turn the tablet upside down, where we'll of course find another speaker on each side, so there are 4 speakers in this tablet, which will provide a very good experience when watching movies, for example, because the surround sound will work well. Here it worked. Here we also have another antenna, one on each side, as well as a USB Type-C port. This is a USB-C 3.1 second generation port, which of course allows for file transfers, image transmission, for example, to AR glasses or for example to monitor. This USB Type-C, meaning this iPad. As a matter of fact, it actually supports up to 30 watts of fast charging, if someone wants to charge at the maximum speed. When we're talking about the wide variety of different sensors, we also need to specifically mention those located on the front-facing portion of our display screen, the kit. In this exact spot, sorry for the slightly dirty screen, but right here, there's also an integrated high-resolution 12-megapixel camera. Next to it, you'll find the device's microphone, because if you attach a keyboard here to your tablet, to your iPad, you would end up covering the microphone everywhere else around here. That's why it's positioned centrally, so that if you're using it and need to have, for example, a meeting on your iPad, it will work very well. It will pick up sound effectively, because it will be directly in front of you. And the last thing that's located here, in this spot, you can see it perfectly. Now, on this lamp, there's an infrared diode which is used for setting up Face ID. And that's all the sensors, buttons, and ports on this device. I hope the video was helpful, useful, and interesting. I'll say goodbye now and encourage you to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.
Welcome. In front of me is an iPad Air. And today I will show you how you can record a screen on this device. So, to get started, we're gonna swipe down from the top right side of the screen to get down the control center. And somewhere in here you should have this screen recording toggle. It will look like this one, a little circle. But if you can't find it, you can actually hold the empty space here. You can see this will enter the editing mode, and now we can click on Add a Control and find our screen recording from the list right here. There it is. I can actually add it twice, as you can see. And in case once you have added it, you can just simply tap on this empty space right here, and then we're just going to tap on the toggle, which will begin recording. So whatever you'll do right now will be for the most, actually not for the most part, but basically everything will be recorded. Now this also, funnily enough, includes things like, for instance, streaming platforms. So you can see here we have things like Netflix. Oh, sorry, not Netflix. What am I? Jesus, what am I snorting right here? Apple TV. Sorry. So yeah, Apple TV. So obviously all of this will be recorded, and once we're done recording we can just click right here to stop, click on stop, and it saves it. Now to view our recording, we're gonna navigate to our Photos application, and probably the best way to go about this would be to navigate to Videos, and in here you'll find screen recordings and also just general videos. Now under screenshots we just have screenshots, so Fortunately, this is the only place I think you can find screen recordings. So it will be mixed up with something else, like obviously videos. But it still will be much better than just trying to find it in the entire library. So once you find it, you can just simply tap on it to view it. Now I do want to kind of talk about this. So Apple, thank you. This is actually pretty nice. As far as I can tell, you can record, like I said, the streaming platforms. Apple TV seems to be recordable. I also tried Netflix, and that seems to be recordable too. Though I do want to add this, I never actually tried to turn on any show to record it that way. So I don't know if maybe there is some kind of like more limited limitations to it, a bit more advanced, that when you're only watching something, it will then only black it. And the reason I'm clarifying this, because on Android, anytime you open up application, for instance, such as things like Apple TV, Netflix, Spotify, or any other streaming platform, it just gets automatically blocked. So when you're trying to record such a thing, it will just present you with a black screen. Now here I don't see this, but I don't have any of these subscriptions to even test it out. So if you encounter some kind of problems with your recording when you're trying to record, maybe, I don't know, Apple TV, it could potentially be the same kind of feature that Android has, just blocking you once you actually start to watch content that would be considered, like if you're trying to record it, as piracy. Now keep in mind, this shouldn't be piracy even when you're recording it, as piracy would be the distribution of it. You're in your damn right to record something that you're paying for, right? For whatever purpose you might have. So anyway, just wanted to kind of mention this. If you can record everything in here, that's great, potentially. But I also want to point out, for instance, on Android, this is partially done to protect the privacy and security of the user. So if you ever had some kind of malware on your device that would be trying to use screen recordings or screenshots to see, for instance, pins to your bank when you're trying to access it. Obviously on Android, this isn't possible, as banks block it. But I don't know if Apple even has such a feature. If it doesn't, and you somehow manage to have some kind of malware, a little bit less possible compared to Android, but something tells me that there is still a way. Obviously your bank might become kind of, for instance, unsecure because of that, but keep in mind, I don't use Apple, so I don't know how kind of prevalent this problem would be, and if there's any kind of limitations like this or not, any kind of security measures for this. But in any case, with that being said, I hope you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me I have the iPad Air M4, and today I will show you how you can back up your device. Now this backup will be done using a computer, so that's kind of why I have Windows right here. But I also want to let you know that you can do your backup either through your tablet itself or through Mac OS as well. I'm just picking Windows specifically just because it's it takes a couple more steps to do this. Once we kind of match with Mac OS, everything else goes about the same as there. And I will be showing you a couple different ways you can go about this. But first thing you will need to do is download the program that you will need for managing our iPad. And we're not going to be going online for it, at least onto a web browser, onto something like apple.com. No. We have upgraded to using a shittier version of this logic, which is by going into the Microsoft Store, unfortunately. So that's what we're going to select. In here, you want to search for Apple devices and look for the lowest rated program. Now, if you're wondering why we're not using the second lowest rated program called iTunes, is because Apple has updated iTunes by just straight up like killing it off. And they updated it by splitting it into multiple programs and making them worse. how lovely. So that's why now we have Apple devices and we have Apple Music. They're both together serve the same purpose as before iTunes did. So in any case, in here, What you will want to do is just download the Apple devices. Now for me it's already downloaded, so I can just hover over it, click on open, and there we go. Now you do need to grab also a cable, plug it into your computer, and then connect it to your tablet. Same thing goes for macOS users. Now once you do that, whatever, we can disregard this. Once you do that, you should be presented with this page right over here. Now on macOS, what you will want to do is navigate to your Finder. If you don't know what a Finder is, it's basically just like this. It used to be this kind of blue icon with a smiley face on it, almost. And if you still don't know what the hell I'm talking about, just find any kind of folder on your desktop. Once you do, open it up, and when you do, it will basically, have all your files here, some locations here, and when you plug in your tablet, it should show up somewhere in here. When you click on it, as it will appear the same way that it would here. So if this was the same tablet but on Mac, it would appear as the computer box iPad, and it would be somewhere right here. I would click on it, and when I do, it would literally look like this page. So from there, it's basically exactly the same. It just, instead of having this visible on Finder, I have it in like a Apple devices program. Now in here, you have a couple different ways of backing up your device. You have the backup to iCloud, which you can also do, like I mentioned, on the tablet itself. So you don't need computer for this and a program. You can just do it straight from the tablet. Now for purposes of having your backup secure and stored locally, you can select the backup data on your iPad to this PC or computer. And you can also even take it a step further and encrypt it if you want to. I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to disable this, but I am going to do it to the computer. So once one of these options is selected, from there you can back it up. And all you will need to do is just click right here, backup now. Before I do so, I do want to quickly mention, you can see I have right now info. Last backup was done on the 24/03/2026, so it was today, a couple hours ago. Yeah, like roughly 2 hours ago. So in any case, I can just click backup now. It's gonna start backing it up right here. And this should be relatively quick. Now, depending on how much data you actually have on your device, this might not be necessarily correct. If you have like 200 gigs of applications, this obviously will take more time. And you'll also need 200 gigs of free space on your PC. But this is just stock and kind of iOS right here with no applications installed. And as you can see, if you hover over it, it right now takes 14 gigs. And I don't think it actually backs up the applications that are core components of iOS. So things like, camera, photos, and so on. It's not being backed up. It's only backing up things that are unique to you as a user. So photos, videos, and downloaded applications, and so on. And you can see now that I have backed up, it changes the time to current one. And yep, it's now backed up. And you can also manage backups right here by clicking manage them, and it will show you a bunch of different backups, and you can delete them if you want to. You can check when they were created, and you can see there's iPads and iPhones as well. You could click on it and just straight up delete it. There we go, gone. So yep, you can do whatever you want right here, manage it. Considering most of these are stored on my computer, this could potentially be a good kind of thing to just delete them. But that's about it. That's all you need to do to back up your iPad. So, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is an Apple iPad Air, and today I will show you how you can enable your Do Not Disturb mode. So, to get started, you'll want to swipe down from the top right side where we have our battery, a nice percentage. And when you do, it will get you your control center. Now, in control center, we should have our Do Not Disturb mode visible, but if you can't find it, you will be able to add it by just holding the empty space like right here, and then selecting Add a Control. And you're not actually going to be looking for the Do Not Disturb mode. What you're actually going to be looking for is focus. So just search for it. So you can see it right here, but I know that it's added right here where it says work right now. Now the reason why it says work instead of focus will become apparent once I actually turn it off. And if I do this and this, you can see it's now saying focus. So it shows me the name of the toggle that was actually enabled in there. As we click on this, we have multiple different modes in here. So in any case, once you see your do not disturb mode, you can click on the three dots, and then first of all, you'll want to go into the settings and check out how it's set by default, and obviously change the settings if they don't fit your needs. Now, going quickly through some of these, under people, you'll be able to select if you're going to be getting notifications or not, and who you're going to be getting them from. So you can list people, and calls, and you have calls, you can have anyone, allowed people, which I think are these specifically here, favorites, and contacts only. So you can choose whatever you want in here. Apps, you can choose whichever one would be excluded when the mode is running. So excluded meaning that when the mode is on, this application would still act as it normally does when the mode is off. And scrolling further down, we have schedules right here, which are pretty nice. Now there is a couple pre-made ones. We have a smart activation, we have a timed specific one, and books. So it looks like when you read a book, you can have it automatically turn on do not disturb mode. That's pretty neat. But I'm going to just talk about the normal schedule mode. So if we go into add a schedule, for instance, you can create timed one or also location based. That is actually pretty damn neat. So depending on if you're, for instance, if your device detects that you're at work, if you carry your device to work as an example, it would automatically enable do not disturb mode. That is pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to select time one just to keep it kind of simple. And here we have the start, end time, and then you can select days of the week that you want it to run during. So let's say I just want something that is for the weekend, and maybe I just wanted to have it run literally all day freaking long. That's a 24-hour. Okay, that's good. So there we go, good enough. So the moment weekend starts, I'm not getting interrupted by literally anyone. Now when you create any kind of schedule, it automatically becomes enabled, as you can see right here, on. Well, they're almost all on apart from the smart activation. To turn it off, you would go in here and just toggle it off like so, and obviously it wouldn't run. Now once everything here is set up, we can just close this, and from there, whenever you want to enable this manually, basically not using the schedule that we have or any of the schedules, you can go in here, click on the drop down menu again, and you would just simply click on this to turn it on. Now you can see it tells me that it's going to be running until 5 p.m. Let's quickly check why. Oh, it's because of this. So the mode itself doesn't really have any kind of option to help you turn it off automatically. So this is actually a pretty kind of important information, I will say. So when you have any kind of schedule, like I have one right here, runs every day, the reason why it says that it's going to turn off at 5 is because that's literally when the do not disturb mode here would normally turn off. Now this allows you to, in a way, set up any kind of schedule. So as an example, I'm going to create another one. It's going to be all week long, and I'm going to make one, let's say at like 6 a.m. Good enough. And I'm going to also set another one, 6 a.m. or 6:01. I'm going to also turn off the previous one. There we go. So now, if I go in here, you can see it's going to run till 6:01. So this could be a good thing for you to set up in case you enable this manually, so you didn't go with the apps option, like for instance the books is right here. So when you do it manually, you will need to remember to turn it off, and if you forget about it, it would run indefinitely. There's no option to change this, as I can see, but selecting any kind of schedule and having it run every day would basically prevent that from happening. Though you might want to select some kind of time where obviously some kind of noise that the tablet would make when it's turning it on or off, or any kind of spam of notifications would not be annoying you. So I think 6 a.m. is okay if you tend to wake up at that time, or maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9, depending on when you wake up. And At that point, when you wake up, your device is kind of pressed to go again with the mode being off. So you can decide if you want to turn it on or off, and don't need to worry about it running indefinitely till you turn it off. So just a little bit of a kind of convenience option that you can set up right here. And obviously, if you remember about it, you can find this toggle by swiping down, and instead of tapping like we did on these arrows right here, you're just going to click on that icon of a moon. Now, right now, when it's visible, the moon, you can click on it again, and this will go back to the do not disturb mode, but it actually refreshes back to the focus kind of thing whenever you get rid of this and swipe down again to bring it up. So you would again need to start over and select it from here. Oh, actually, I kind of forgot about this, to be honest. There is an option for you to change what happens. So we have for 1 hour until this evening or until I leave this location. So you do have actual options for it to not run indefinitely, but still, if you want, you can do that timed one as well, the schedule that I did, as a kind of additional option to just have a safety measure. In any case, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is a Apple iPad Air, and today I will show you how you can capture a screenshot on this device. So, to get started, you will want to open up content that you wish to capture, and for this purpose, I'll be using home screen as an example. Now, home screen is already open on my device, so I don't need to do anything extra other than just capture that screenshot. And to do so, you all you need to do is just press your power button and volume up at the same time. So I'm going to do that right now. So like I said, power and volume up. Just a click, you get the flash with the pop-up right here, and it will disappear on its own in a moment. There we go. So when it disappears, you can find your captured screenshot by going into your Photos application, and it will be visible at the very bottom of your media library if you have just captured it. But truth be told, if you're looking for your screenshots later on down the line, I think it will be much easier to just navigate to screenshots right here, where you'll find, well, just that, all the screenshots, and literally nothing else. Now, one more thing that I do want to say right here as a kind of like a congratulations to Apple, maybe in a way. As an Android user, on my device, there are applications, certain applications that I just cannot take a screenshot of. And this is completely outside of my control on my own device. And on Android, there's a feature that basically blocks screenshots and screen recording for privacy and security reasons. Now, these are for privacy and security reasons of mine. And the reason I'm clarifying is because there are applications like, for instance, Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, and other garbage that just use this to block the ability for me to capture a screenshot on my own device, because they're protecting not me, but themselves from piracy. Like I could give two shits more. In any case, props here for Apple, because no matter what the content is that is open, it seems like Apple never blocks it. Although, let's actually quickly check this. Okay, interesting. They actually do. Never mind. I'm not sure how to feel about this one specifically. So you can see there's content visible. Boop. 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 Literally every time I capture it. Let's go back to our photos. Where is the freaking content that was visible right here? Excuse me? Excuse me, Apple. What the shit do you think you're doing? Okay, so you know what? No props for Apple. Go screw yourself, Apple. Go suck my Tim cock. So, because of that, I just generally despise companies that can just straight up remove content from you to be able to capture. And I am wholeheartedly believing that if you're paying for this, you should be in your damn right to do so. Capturing a screenshot of a show or anything like that doesn't violate any kind of laws. It doesn't even fall under copyright or anything like that. You have fair use. And fair use is covered for, well, screenshot, like you can capture a screenshot, let's be honest. There's nothing fair use, screenshot is literally falling under fair use without a problem. Now, video, for instance, like the screen recordings, now that would be a little bit more iffy, as screen recordings would allow you to capture the entire like show, for instance, or movie that you're watching if you really wanted to. But again, if you're paying for this, I think it's in your damn right to be able to do so. You're paying for this piece of shit, and it's up to you to decide what the reason of capturing this is. It shouldn't be your responsibility or your device that you paid money for to protect it from piracy. Let's be honest, none of us could give two shits less about that. And because I am generally kind of gonna believe that this is just blatantly violating my device and what I can do on it, which I should be in my damn fucking right to capture a screenshot like I am of a home screen without any kind of content being blocked. Hey, this image that I captured is not blocked, so why the hell is this? So, for this reason, I'm gonna show you a workaround, because screw you, Apple, know your fucking place. So, we're gonna go into our browser. Wow, someone went wild with tabs right here. And in the browser, I'm gonna just be upfront. What I'm about to show you is not actually going to be anything like definitive. I'm not going to tell you where to go exactly. And the reason for that is because the moment I did do that before, but that didn't last long, about like a month into doing this kind of thing. Yeah, that site is no longer existing. So instead, what I'm gonna do, because DMCA is really kind of get a hard-on for free information like this, then they can go screw themselves. And instead, what I'm gonna do is teach you how to fish. That means that in the future, if any sites that you will find yourself, and subsequently DMCA whatever garbage finds it too and just strikes it, you can then use that same logic to find new ones, and they will be popping up like cancer, because enshittification forces people to create alternatives that are better and free. So instead, we're gonna go to pstream.mov. I'm not actually gonna navigate there, but wow, would you look at that? It's actually showing up here with the old kind of icon. Now this no longer exists as far as I'm aware. Let's actually quickly check. Yep. So wait, not secure. Continue. Okay, there we go. So it's dead. So in any case, can I just... So I'm going to remove this, and instead what I'm going to do is add now alternative. Now, reason for this, showing you this, because it's much easier to teach you how to find it, meaning in a way teach you how to fish, to feed you for life, rather than give you a single website and feed you for a day, right? When a website gets taken down, you'd be kind of shit out of luck, and what I showed you would have no value anymore. What I'm showing right here, even when any of these websites gets taken down, you can find alternatives. And knowing how to search for them, like for instance doing this, is one way. Depending what you find or what you search for, you will find a different kind of results. I know that how I searched for it, which was something with association of Netflix being free as a search. I found a Reddit, as this is usually what you're going to be looking for. Let's be honest, AI overview or whatever AI garbage is not there to help you. It's there to push bullshit like whatever the shit these websites are. And they're most likely using AI slop as well to give you this. And AI never will recommend sites that you can find, for instance, right here. So let's be completely like upfront about this one. So you want to look primarily for Reddit ones, and whatever you find there and however you search for it, you will find different options. And in one of those searches, however you search for it, you will most likely encounter a link to a list on a different website, which basically catalogs most of these sites that pop up with multiple different domains for each one of them if they have multiple ones, right? Similar to how, for instance, Pirate Bay has like piratebay.com.co or whatever else, like whatever they have, right? And that list exceeds like I think 20 different entries right there of each like different place. So find whatever suits you, as depending on who's hosting this, sometimes the results will vary in terms of how good it is. But hey, the benefit is it's running on a browser, so you can capture anything in the browser. It never blocks it. So when you're watching something like any kind of show or movie from using any one of these websites, you will be able to capture an entire screenshot as it's still on the browser. And you can also extend that to screen recordings as well. So it's pretty damn good. And once you capture it, you can view it and you should be good to go. And this is just kind of a fix to something that I believe shouldn't really be a problem to begin with, because I don't think any kind of device should be blocking my content from being captured. I want to capture it for my reasons. If I want to share whatever movie or show I'm watching right now, and I want to capture a snippet of it and share it with someone, it's in my damn right to do so. It doesn't fall under piracy, and it does fall under fair use. You can check that in specifically what kind of length you need to have it under to be under fair use, but if it's like, I think, below 30 seconds or something along those lines, it's definitely fair use. So being blocked for piracy purposes, while also having a law that literally allows you to do so under specific circumstances, is a scummy bullshit way. So I'm here just showing you a work around it. And what you will do with that knowledge that you can view something for free now from every platform is up to you. But in any case, with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is an iPad Air, and today I will show you how you can hard reset this device through settings. So to get started, I'm going to begin by talking about backing up your device, as by resetting it, obviously you will remove all the data that is stored on it. So it's probably best that you first back up your data, or at least even check if you have it backed up. Now, chances are you might already have it backed up, as usually you would, as this is Apple. But hey, let's check it. So we would go into our settings right here. And in settings, we would be looking for, if I can actually find where the backup is. I think it's in general. Background, that's no. It's pretty sure. Okay, I think the easiest way would be to just search for it. There we go. So it's under Apple account iCloud with iCloud backup. So this is one of the ways you can do a backup. Now there's actually multiple different ways you can go about it if you want to. This one is the one that is available to you strictly on a tablet and only kind of to the cloud. But you can see right here, for instance, I have a list of a lot of different devices that have been backed up over time and how much space they're taking. And I can also click on it to check when it was created. So from here, you could, for instance, back it up right now if you are signed into your iCloud. And you can see this one is back up this iPad. So it is enabled. So I believe, is this the actual iPad? It's 31st. No, that's from like a year ago. Maybe not a year ago, but it's not the newest one. So it looks like there is no current backup done of this specific device. So to do so, I'll just click right here, backup now. Now that is one of the ways. You can actually also use your computer to back up your device locally, or also to the cloud if you want to through a different way. So to elaborate on this, if you plug it into your PC, or to your Mac, the same thing basically, but depending on which operating system you use, either Mac OS or Windows, you will either need to download on Windows program called Apple Devices, or on the Mac you just need to open up Finder when the device is plugged in. And in both of them, when you open them up, they do have the same exact UI. And in there, you'll have option to back up your device either to the cloud or locally to your computer that you're right now plugged into. So that would be a great way for you to create a physical backup of all your data done to your storage instead of storing it on the cloud. So I recommend doing that, or alternatively, just to give you a little bit of a other option, if you are switching to a new device, you can always migrate data. When setting up the new device, if it's Apple, it does give you option to move data throughout the setup of all the data from like an old tablet to a new one or an iPhone. And you can also do this kind of same thing if you are switching to another device, for instance, like a Samsung, either phone or tablet, it doesn't really matter. Decent amount of Android devices from like the bigger brands have an application that would allow you to migrate the data. So for instance, something like Samsung here uses an application called Smart Switch, while something like Xiaomi has Mi Mover, Oppo, Realme, OnePlus, and Vivo all use Clone Phone. Huawei, no, if you're not in the US, that doesn't really matter, but hey, if you have a Huawei, Huawei uses a phone clone application, so the other way around from the Vivo and other ones. So you could use that application. You just download it right here on this device through the App Store, and that would allow you to connect these two devices together through hotspot and then move over all the data from one device to another, which would obviously include a little photos, videos, screenshots, contacts, and so on, and potentially even some applications if they are available on the Play Store. But obviously, not every application that is available right here will be available on Play Store. It's probably a decent amount of those. So anyway, with that out of the way and our device at this point probably backed up, we can go back into our settings. Just close this. And in the settings, you will want to navigate to General. Scroll down, and here you will find the Transfer or Reset iPad option. And we're just going to select Erase All Content and Settings. Now, when you click on this, it will give you a couple different fields right here of data that will be removed, types of it, so things like apps and data, and we have 30 gigabytes of it, as it tells you how many. We have also Apple account, though it's not deleting the account itself, it's just getting rid of it from this specific tablet by resetting it. And lastly, we have Find My Device will need to be deactivated. Now, this all will be kind of done by you physically, so you will see in a second what I mean. As if we select Continue, first you will need to confirm your screen lock. I don't have one, so it will automatically give me this. Are you sure you want to erase all media, content, and settings? This cannot be undone. We're going to select Erase iPad. And as you can see, now I need to sign out of my account, iCloud specifically, which subsequently will mean that Find My will be deactivated. So anyway, I'm going to just do that right now. Once I actually check out what the password is. So I confirmed it, I already press enter. Nothing is happening, but don't worry, this is kind of normal. You will see that in a moment that it actually just starts to work. There we go. So you can see it does have just a brief moment where it's kind of like pretending that it's not doing anything. Once it's finished pretending, it's just jumping straight into resetting. So this process will take about 5 minutes, I think. Apple is not the fastest when it comes down to resetting it, so just be mindful of that. So I'm going to let it run too and come back once the process is finished on my end. And as you can see, the process is now finished, and you can set up your device however you like. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me, I have the iPad Air M4, and I'll be showing you how you can restore a backup of your device. Now, I do want to clarify this right away, just so there's no confusion. I'll be restoring it not through iCloud, but through PC. So this will be done strictly on computer side. Now, you can restore, I believe, from an iCloud backup. I do have all mine done to the PC, so that's what I'll be using. And my device is right now in the setup stage. Now, this doesn't really have that much importance. So yeah, anyway, let's get started. Now, on my end, I'm using Windows, but you can do this on macOS. It doesn't really matter. The only difference is on Windows, there are additional steps that we need to take at the beginning, while macOS, you can just chill and wait for me to kind of catch up, because macOS comes baked in with everything that you need. It's like straight in the system, while Windows and Apple just kind of, Apple has gone through the ensherification process and made things even worse to kind of try to get me to move to macOS, like, because yeah, that's what goes through my head. If the company goes out of the way to make the experience shittier for me to move, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend more money to move to, because I get baited by this bullshit. Like, come on, Tim, figure it out. It's definitely not that. I'm gonna stay the hell away. In any case, with that out of the way, we on at least Windows side will need to download the crappiest program of in existence, at least for giga corporations. And you're not going to be going to apple.com as you would probably expected to download this. Shit, you're not even going to be downloading anything from the browser like you would expect it on Windows. Instead, you're going to be navigating to the god-awful place called Microsoft Store. And in here, you're going to search for Apple devices. Now, you want to look for the lowest rated program in sight, which just happens to be the one that we need. 2.1 stars. I do want to say, I hated iTunes when it came out because it was already enshittified, forcing you to use a program to do basic management of data on your device that devices back then didn't even, back then had it figured out that, hey, you plug it in and it acts like a freaking storage. So this rating right here, 2.3, if iTunes would have come out now instead of Apple devices, if the roles were switched, iTunes would have been probably 4.5 stars out of 5. Because honestly, we had it good back then. iTunes was good. And you might be wondering, what the hell happened with it then? Well, iTunes, Apple more like kind of ditched it, updated by just completely removing it and substituting it with Apple devices. So that's what you want to get. Open it up, and that's kind of where we need to start off, both on Mac and Windows, as when you have this, we're basically on the same page. So let's grab a cable and plug it in, and it should show up on the side panel right here. Here we go, the iPad right here, and all the info is also visible right here that we need. Now, on macOS, what you would need to do is open up your Finder. And if you don't know what a Finder is, it's basically like the File Explorer kind of thing, catalog looking thing that Windows has. And if you still can't find it, just open up any folder on your desktop on Mac. And on the side panel of that, like basically like right here, you will have a bunch of different things, including somewhere you should find, when your device is plugged in, your iPad. So you want to click on it, and when you do, you should have this page right here. So from here, you can see we have right here option to manage backups, backup now, or restore backup. So I'm going to select restore backup, and this will present me with a list of different options that I can restore from. So you can see that they are sorted by date, and if they're iPads all, like if you had multiple iPads, you might actually see a couple different iPads, even iPhones, as you can see. So we have iPhones right here, and we have iPads. So those will show up here and you can pick whichever one you want. As iPhones and iPads are about the same, all the applications are interchangeable between them. You can technically restore iPhones and it will just restore all the data that was on that iPhone, but instead it will be now on your iPad. And also, if you don't have any kind of iPad backup, but you have an iPhone, you could just plug in your iPhone. If I cancel that, you could do right here, create a backup right now of, you do backup now. Once you have the correct option selected that you want to utilize, backup now, and you'd back up your iPhone, and from there, replug your iPad, restore that iPhone backup, for instance. Now I'm going to choose whatever. I honestly don't know what the differences here are between these backups. I don't think there's much. So I'm just going to select whichever one and then select restore. Now, one thing that happens is it tells you that you need to erase and restore. So any kind of data that you're storing on this right now, moronically first needs to be removed for that restore to be applied. So, you know, Apple doesn't conceive the idea of you wanting to add additional files because, hell, maybe you are already using this and then you want to restore additional data that was, for instance, on your iPhone back on here while keeping what was already on here. That's kind of going over Tim Cook's idea of what you're supposed to be able to do. That is way too complex for his simple little mind. So we're just going to erase and restore. So this actually will take several minutes. So just be patient. I'm going to come back once it's finished. So I think on the tablet it's going to just kind of give me some new looking page instead of the setup one. So we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to just kind of mute myself. This will be going in real time. So you can feel free to skip forward by like several minutes probably. I don't remember how long it takes to restore a device. And this also might vary depending on the backup that you're restoring. As a backup that is filled with like 100 gigabytes of applications and so on, might take a little bit longer. So anyway, I'll be back once hopefully it's finished for me. Okay, so as you can see, the process is now finished, and when you unlock it, it tells you quickly that the restore is complete, and we can kind of go quickly through this. We do need to still do a tiny bit of setup, and even when your device was already set up, you'd still need to go through this. Now, one of the nice things is we can now continue without network. I'm gonna also, actually no, I don't want to add this. I'm gonna use without. There we go. I'm gonna also not use this. Come on, Apple. Turning off location services doesn't take this long. Now, while this is doing basically bullshit in the background, we can unplug our device because we no longer need the cable. It has already finished, and you could also see that on the computer side. Wow, Apple, you're not really shining right here. An M4 processor, and you're struggling to turn off location services? Oh boy, not a good look. Here, look, it's supposed to take you this long. There we go, it's off. Anyway, we can now continue. Get started. And there we go. Now, because we don't have internet connection right now, almost everything here isn't downloaded. As Apple downloads their application with internet connection, which without it, it can't. So, in general, once you connect to network, it's going to start downloading all of them. In any case, that's about it. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me, I have the iPad Air M4, and today I'll be showing you how you can hard reset this device through recovery mode. So, before I get started, I want to quickly mention a couple of things. So, number one, when resetting your device through any kind of way, all your data is being removed. So, if you store anything on your device that it hasn't been backed up, this will be deleted. So, just make sure that you're not going to be losing anything that you actually want to, well, maintain. Number two is I'm going to be using Windows for this, but you can also do this process on Mac. It doesn't really matter all that much. The only difference is it's a little bit more annoying on Windows, as we need to download a program that you don't need to get on macOS, as it just is part of the operating system. On Windows side, it's just enshittified for the purpose of pissing you off. So hopefully you can switch to macOS. I think that's the logic there, but in any case, so I'm going to first kind of get going with the Windows side, and I'm going to say when I am at the same stage as you would be using macOS, as I basically need to catch up to macOS. So first things first, on Windows, you will want to open up the best place to download any kind of application, which is not the browser apparently. It's the Microsoft Store. Apparently, Apple is so great that they decided to not even maintain their own piece of shit software on their own servers. So, hey, it's now on Windows's. Wow, how great. Now in here, you're going to be searching for Apple devices, as I have, and you will be presented with the lowest rated program that you've probably ever seen from an actual corporation like Apple. It's 2.1. Now, if you take a look, even iTunes used to have 2.3. Now, if you're wondering why we're not using iTunes, it's because it has been updated into non-existence. It's been updated by being split into two different programs and then forced you to use those two programs instead of being able to utilize this one. It was a choice, a deliberate one. So, we're going to be getting this time around only Apple devices, as that's what we only need. But if you ever wanted to manage your music, you'd actually also need to download Apple Music. even though there's a music tab in the freaking Apple devices, but whatever. In any case, you want to open it up, which I have already opened it. So it's right here. And you just unplug it. So when you plug it in, by default, it will automatically show up like this. But whatever you see right now being open, that's the default thing that's going to be open for you. Now, that's where macOS kind of rejoins. So on macOS, you won't be using Apple devices because, like I said, it's baked into your OS already. So instead of you using Apple devices, what you want to do is open up Finder. If you don't know what Finder is, basically an equivalent of Windows Explorer or File Explorer that we have right here. And if you still don't know what the hell I'm talking about, just open up any folder on your desktop. And on the side panel of it, you'll have a bunch of things like downloads or whatever it shows on Mac. And you will find your iPad on the side with the label of whatever you named it. So it's going to have whatever you named it, or if you have chosen to set it up through your computer, then it's going to say, probably tell you the name of the computer iPad. So if let's say you're set up your MacBook, right? And you named it, I don't know, Tim. When you set up your iPad on that account of Tim, it will name your iPad Tim's iPad. So that's what you'd be looking for in the side panel. It's going to have the same icon as it has here. Now, when you click on it, you'll see the same page as this one. So with that out of the way, we're basically all set. If you want, you can try to back up your device right here, either to the iCloud or to your computer. I don't know if it's going to allow you to do so if you haven't selected to trust it. So you might need to select that you trust it. But in any case, once we're all set, what you will want to do is press volume up, then volume down, and hold power button. And you want to already be plugged in. So, I'm going to start holding up, down, power. What you will see is this first, which is the slide to power off. Completely ignore it. Continue holding it. Even when the device turns off, continue holding it. And even when it starts to boot up with the Apple logo, continue holding the power button. So continue holding. And you only want to release once we see this. This is our recovery mode. And for the first time since ever, Apple has finally managed to separate these two modes from each other. So now the Apple devices and subsequently also MacBooks or Mac OS knows that when the device is in recovery mode, it's recovery mode, and when it's DFU mode, it knows it's a DFU mode. It will tell you both of those separately. Before, I think both of them were labeled as recovery mode or DFU mode, one or the other, no matter which mode you were in. In any case, once we're in this mode, you get this pop-up. We can actually cancel that or just interact with it. The same options are behind it, as you can see. So we have, there's a problem with iPad. No, there isn't. You're being stupid, but hey, whatever. Now, it's basically going to tell you always that there's a problem. I think the problem is that you chosen to put it into recovery mode. That must mean that there is a problem. In any case, in this, you can either select cancel or restore iPad behind here, or just restore right here. Now, I do want to point out you have update, restore, and cancel, and here you have update and restore. Now, keep in mind when you select restore, it's going to go back to update, restore, and update. And again, if you're also thinking, well, whoa, hold on there. I actually want to reset it, not restore. Don't worry, that's just Apple being retarded. They're telling you restore and update, while in reality it means reset and update. As you can see, it tells you that data will be erased. Usually when data is being erased, it's not a restoration, it's the exact opposite of it. So this is actually reset. Yeah, we're going to click on that. And if you're wondering about the update, there is no way for you to do this without updating your device. And even furthermore, adding to that retardation there, when restoring your device through either Mac or Windows, you need to download the newest version of iOS, even when your tablet is already running it. So right now, I think it's 26.3, the newest version of iPadOS. And I would need to download this newest iPadOS, even though it's already on here, on my Windows, and that is like 10 gigabytes of free space that I need just for that download, and then another 10 gigabytes because it needs to get extracted. So you need about 20 gigs of free storage on your PC to be able to even do this. So anyway, I'm going to click on restore and update. Now for me, it's actually not going to download anything as I have already done so. So it's automatically going to prepare my device and then start extracting the software and then loading it up on the device. One more thing that I'd want to point out, which we'll see if it happens here. It has happened multiple times on an iPhone, but I have encountered that sometimes when doing this kind of resets through PC, when it's loading up the new iPadOS or iOS, it fails. So because the way this actually does it, by removing the old one first and then loading up the new one, if it fails at loading it, you're kind of can't boot into any iOS anymore, and you need to start the process over. And I think the only way you can do it successfully is by going through a DFU mode at that point. If you don't know how to do this, you can actually check out basically any of the iPhone 17e videos that I have recorded about resetting it, as it literally failed in every single one of them multiple times in some of the modes. So you can check out how to solve that problem if you have it. Hopefully this time it will just go smoothly and I don't need to waste time. But that could potentially be wishful thinking. So I'll cross that bridge once I get to it. Right now I'm going to just say that I'm going to let it run through, and I'll come back once it's finished. Now, in your case, you can just skip 7 minutes forward, and potentially if 7 minutes, 8 minutes or so, it's doing nothingness. It probably means that I failed and I had to start over. And if you see a pop-up right here which says that I have successfully restored my iPad, that means that it succeeded, even though the screen will look about the same. It successfully loaded the iPadOS on here, but the tablet still need to finish it up. So that will take probably another 10 minutes or so to finish up in general, to like fully be finished without any hiccups. So anyway, I'll be back once I hopefully have a setup screen visible. And as you can see, the reset is now finished and you can set up your device in whatever way you want. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.